Hello, my name is Stacy. Welcome to my channel, Simply Liminal, and welcome to my 3-card reading for the month of August. It has gone quickly this last month of July. It feels like I did this reading 3 days ago, and here we are now embracing a new month. We're still in the middle of summer, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, but the energy feels very different. As I mentioned in the July reading, we had several planets going retrograde. Pluto was already retrograde, then Neptune went retrograde. Venus, I believe, is retrograde. I could be wrong about that. No, I am wrong. It's Saturn. And then Mercury went retrograde at the end of, towards the end of the month. And that's one that always feels, like technology and communication and a lot of things go haywire, or it feels like it, which is interesting because just before I was getting ready to do my Lammas reading, my camera stand busted, just boom, like that. And so I've got it sort of pieced together for this reading, so bear with me. And just yesterday, Chiron, not a planet, but it's very important in astrology, went retrograde as well. So we got 5 things retrograde, a lot of challenges for us to work through. And this energy is to help us work through things. This is also my second attempt at this reading because my camera went haywire. I just was like, it was just the weirdest vibration that I couldn't get to go away, even though there is no movement going on in my house. So I'm going to be very careful about how I shuffle, and we are just going to do a take 2 on this because I feel like, in the middle of my reading, when my camera just stops recording and I've already had my busted camera stand, that is the universe telling me to step back, take a pause, and let's look at this energy again. So again, for these 3-card readings, and I'm going to do this a little quicker than I normally do. These 3 cards just popped out. We got a few over here too, but something makes me feel like these cards are our message. And I know the cards that popped up earlier and they felt a little discordant. And so I'm really curious to see what this 3 will be. So we have messages here. How I'm looking at this for these monthly readings is the overall universe, collective, spirit guides and guardians are sending us a message for our mind, for our body, and for our spirit. I will look at the book a little bit for these messages, but I really want to read intuitively what I think is coming through from the universe for us. So here we go, August. Let's look at what our message for our mind is. We have Eagle Spirit. Now, Eagle Spirit came up for us it was in July. It came up in a different position. I think it was body. It wasn't in this position for our mind. But I think what is interesting about Eagle Spirit is I think of eagles as being obviously associated with the air, flowing, flying, and a mind energy is very much related to the air. But the message here for our mind is that spirit has your back. So whatever you're thinking, whatever turmoil feels like it's going on in your life, know that spirit has your back. And take that to heart. It's very important, especially when things are rough. This day started with very bad news for dear friends of mine, just tragic news. I just almost wanted to shut down. The sorrow is so deep, and it's hard at times like that to think spirit could have your back. But there has to be some way forward, even in tragedy and grief. And hopefully you open yourself up to the messages from spirit about these things. So the oracle message here talks about Eagle Spirit appearing to ask whether you're willing to soar to new heights, even if that means solitude for a while. Truly, all the wisdom in the world is available to you. When storms flash across the sky, it is the eagle spirit that raises you above it all, helping you conquer fear and overcome adversity, reminding you that spirit has your back and wants you to experience life at its fullest. When I think of storms and birds, I think of the legends of the thunderbirds, large, super large birds that seem to ride on the edge of storm systems. Now, what they really were, maybe they were dinosaurs, maybe there were much larger winged animals, birds, predators that crossed our planet at some time. There's so much that we have forgotten or never knew about this beautiful planet that we live on. But right now, this message in our mind is telling us that spirit has your back. So message for our body should feel a little bit more grounded, or maybe telling us how to find grounding a little bit better. And we have butterfly spirit, which is also a very air-like quality. But the message here is transformation is beautiful. And look at that gorgeous butterfly. Of course, butterflies are part of transformation. They are caterpillars. They are larvae. They go into a cocoon, chrysalis-like stage, and they basically change every aspect of themselves. They kind of melt into like a sludge, basically, a goo, and then they are reborn as butterflies. And I think in our bodies, the planet is going through this kind of transformation. I'm not saying the planet is like turning into goo or anything, but there is a lot of change and transformation going on. And our hope is that we come out of it, that the planet comes out of it as beautiful as the butterfly. And so let's embrace the transformation that is going on around us. The oracle message is joy and the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is the focus when butterfly spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously, and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle your soul wants you to experience through you. Today is a day for joy, so alight. Look around and see the beauty that is everywhere and in everything, including yourself. So that is a beautiful message, especially when the world feels so hard. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. The things that humans are doing, animals are acting a little bit bizarre, the planet is heating up volcanoes, and we have earthquakes and tsunami warnings. Thank goodness that most everything worked out well with that. Continue to hold the energy of light and love and help our planet transform, and our planet will help us through this transition as well. I truly believe that. And now let's look at our message from spirit for our spirit. The message here is Dear Spirit. Now this is interesting because earlier with my first reading for August, Dear Spirit was one of the cards that came up. It was in a different position, but I think it's a double down that it showed up again. Also, that my camera has acted appropriately so far. Dear Spirit, and the message here is bring a gentle touch. And so Spirit is telling us to embrace gentleness. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes we don't want to do that. I'm a bit like a bull in a china shop, and I like to just go in, get stuff done, even if it's almost overwhelming or chaotic. I like to feel like something is accomplished. But sometimes the way you need to accomplish things is through delicateness and gentleness. So the oracle message here says, the time has come to be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others. You might have found yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach a goal. Be mindful of the words you choose, but do not worry. Dear Spirit reminds you that you have the ability to be sure-footed and confident while showing humility and respect for others. I think that's really important there. Showing respect for others. I think even if we differ in opinions from people, our friends, our family, our neighbors, people we don't even know, we can still show respect for their opinion, even if it differs from ours. That makes all discussions go smoother, I think. It says, follow the way of deer spirit and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground that is a pleasure to you, that is pleasing to you. Remember that understanding others and their needs will be more powerful at this time than putting your own first. If you do that, you will be rewarded. So that's an interesting message coming to us from spirit when things feel so shifty and weird right now. So interesting reading for the month of August. I mean, we know there's lots of stuff going on crazily in the world. We know that the solar system is a bit not out of balance, but in these retrograde positions from our planet's perspective, which these are moments, challenges, points for us to work on, to focus on, or to help us better ourselves. And so remember that spirit has your back. Remember that transformation is beautiful. And remember that bringing a gentle touch might be just the magic you need in a situation to make it work out for the best for everybody involved. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please give me a like. Please drop me a comment. I hope you all have a beautiful and wonderful month of August. Have a nice day. Again, my name is Stacy and this channel is Simply Liminal. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.